Welcome to today's morning power up call. We are here. We are all together. We are doing well. Guys, I'd like to welcome you. I'm going to check really quickly just to make sure that the stream is working. You guys can hear me. Again, there's going to be something of a delay, but the call is now live. You guys can all access this. We're talking live. We're here on our morning power up call like we always are every morning and like we always will be until for infinity, right? I don't think there's ever going to be a world where I don't do a daily live call because I enjoy it so much. I absolutely love sharing my thoughts and insights with you guys because of what you guys tell me as a result, right? So I'll sit here and I'll talk about some important concept. And you guys will listen to me. And then, a day later, 15 minutes later, maybe a week later, who you guys in the chat tell me about how you use the concept. It was just what you needed at the time and it helped you do X, Y, Z, and you made money. Like for me, that makes it worth it. I will always do this call no matter what happens. I will always be doing a live call, right? Just want to check really quick. You guys, it looks like you guys can hear me in the chat if the audio is still working. I'm back in my normal setup, right? Congratulations. Kind of overshadowed by some of the events of today, but I'm back in my original home base, like home base, not like the room down the hall, but like home base with the backdrop, kind of the sword, having a good time back here where I need to be, where I've always needed to be this entire time. So we're here, which means whenever I'm here, I'm in content creation mode, which means I'm going to be filming some fun new stuff for you guys. The camera's not going to be as wobbly. So we are good. So it looks like the audio is good. You guys have updated the chat. So woke up tomorrow, a little matrix attack, got everything set up to do the call and went to post the announcement and couldn't log into the normal URL. Everything's fine. Check with the dev team. Just a slight matrix attack. We're moving to a new domain. No big deal. The link is right here. It's in the pinned comment. It's also in the email I just sent out, and it's also in the official Telegram channel for students inside the real world. So if you're not inside that Telegram channel, you definitely should be. Now that channel is obviously really secure and will always be. You always have to be able to find the latest access links in case this kind of stuff happens. This is a different type of program than most, right? Most online courses, they have a nice little stable life. They talk about little tiny concepts and they make little tiny improvements in people's lives. We talk about giant concepts and we make big improvements in people's lives. And because we go so big, we talk about so many important, valuable things. We make such a huge difference in people's lives. We have to, and we get to deal with some of these little occasional attacks, right? We get to deal with the one off, the two off. Oh, domain name change. Oh, we do a new platform, and we do this and we move at such a high speed that it's different experience than what most people expect. Like if you expect to get just the perfect, comfortable, calm, easy experience from this as you would, let's say, going to like a university, then you've got to look. We're way more fun than that. We do way more fun things than that. The game changes so much more than that. We're doing cooler things, so we get to play different things. And honestly, it's gotten to become fun, right? You wake up, oh, cool. What did the Matrix try today? Oh, that's funny. We're going to keep moving because we are unstoppable, indefatigable. We don't give up. We're relentless. That's how we pursue our goals, and that's how we achieve success. We live life 10 times the speed, 10 times the vivacity of a normal human being. So, of course, we live a different experience. Of course, there's attacks, of course. But we just push through and we continue to win. They can't stop us. This is tiny. This is, a new link. Oh, no, my life is disrupted. What am I going to do? No, you just use a new link and you keep moving forward. You dive right back into the lessons. Oh, there's a little bit of a problem here. Oh, the text does that. Dude, this is like the house in the Fight Club thing. They have the house. It's like a junk house. Or, it's a rundown house. There's not everything works. You turn this light switch off. It turns that one off. There's things like that. But it's a house from which they can like free their minds and free their souls, right? It's outside of the system. We're outside of the system, right? Same thing, same game. So we're all here. We're all moving forward. Let's dive into today's call. I'm going to make sure my video is completely adjusted correctly. Yeah. Again, I'm back in the normal studio. This is good. I'm excited. We're here doing what we need to do. Here where we need to be. I've got my non-wobbly desk. I've got my recording camera. I've got my microphone. Got everything like I need to record it at the highest quality. Got my fun backdrop so I can feel like I can think about Musashi and how he thought of everything as a battle. I can do that at all times here in this space, right? Now, let's talk about today's content. Let's talk about today's idea. And it's kind of tied to what we talked about already as far as the challenges that come from living at this speed, living at this life. But specifically the opportunities that come from it. So let's talk about what it means to become a mad scientist. And I've used this term a couple of times. I used it on the live Q&A call I did. Was that yesterday? Day before yesterday. And I've used it a few times in the chats answering people's questions. But let me tell you what I mean when I say you need to become a mad scientist as a copywriter, because this is a key concept. When I talk with guys who are doing their outreach, they tell me about how they approach it, and they're collecting emails. And it takes time to collect emails. It honestly does. You sit there, you have to like slog through different things. I've given you some AI tools inside of the new AI course to make it go much faster so you can prospect quicker. So you can spend more time being the mad scientist and less time just like slogging through the internet, finding stuff. But there's still a cost involved, right? You have to spend some time to get these lists. And now once you have this list, people are kind of hesitant to test things out or to try crazy things because they're worried that they're going to run out of, like, they're going to waste those opportunities, waste those leads they've collected, which is a problem. So they try a little, like, half, they make a tiny little improvement, or they'll try a new subject line, but it won't be that different, right? They're testing things that are just incrementally different than what they did before. And the problem is, if you don't have results yet, you have to try giant changes. You can't try little changes on something and see if it works, right? Imagine you were a chef, right? And you created this new recipe for a type of food. Let's say you create a new type of sandwich that use some different ingredients on the inside, right? No, it's not. It's saying it's a completely new type of food, a soup, a completely different soup made of, like, I don't know, some random grain and some different stuff. And you're like, okay, here we go. We've got a soup. And you sent it out to a food critic, and food critic tasted it and said, this is disgusting. I can't stand it. And you're like, maybe it needs like half a teaspoon more salt. You wouldn't do that, right? You'd be like, oh, okay, I've got to try something completely different. I'm going to change this ingredient. I'm going to remove this one that's the disgusting one. I'm going to add a completely new ingredient here. Maybe I won't do a soup. Maybe I'll do a sandwich or this type of stew, or I'll do some other type of thing. Maybe I'll do dessert. You completely change what you're doing. You might completely scrap that idea because it's not obviously that good. And you're going to make a massive dramatic change to make it massively dramatically better. Whereas if you take some bite and it's like, this is okay, but it needs something. Then maybe you're going to start adding in a tiny new ingredient. Maybe you'll change one little thing. You'll add a different type of seasoning. You'll take a different thing away. You'll add one or two tiny things. But if you're trying to if you're going from no results, you are incentivized as a person to make big, giant tests, to try completely different, crazy things, right? You have to be bold and test out a dramatically different approach, right? So if you're doing your cold email outreach and you're sending it out and you're getting 0 replies, first thing you do, just make sure that your spelling's good, make sure that your sentences flow, make sure that you're actually executing on the strategy that you are attempting well, right? You want thing to like completely toss it out if all you did was like misspell their name or something crazy like that. But make sure you're executing on your intended strategy correctly. Make sure that's happening first. So go get a review from your people inside of the Legion to help you understand if you're doing that correctly. If you are and you're still not getting results, then you need to try a different strategy. So you need to take what you're currently doing, toss it out, and sit down on the drawing board, come up with like 5 or 6 new, completely different approaches, right? Completely new approaches. I talk about how to do this inside of the advanced influence training, how to think up and ways to be different than everyone else, ways to approach it through a different channel, through a different type of question, different angle, so that you can approach the situation completely differently. And you need to test different things, dramatically different things, if you want to eventually strike on gold, right? Once you've found a little bit of gold, once you start getting replies, then you can keep that strategy. You know that strategy works. You've gotten replies from it at a fairly decent rate. Now it's about taking and optimizing that by tweaking the little things to make that strategy that worked work even better. Then you start tweaking the little things. And this is really how you approach it, right? It's the same as if you're mining, right? If you're strip mining, right? Which is not a very popular way to approach the environment, but it's a good example for how to find gold if you really want to, or other types of resources. When they strip mine, and a lot of you guys have done this if you grew up playing Minecraft or you played any kind of Minecraft at all. You don't just like dig one single hole, like 1 square by 1 square, all the way down to the center of the earth and hope to find very much. That's not how you really approach it, right? You dig down, and then you'll branch out and you'll send a tunnel that way, you'll send a tunnel this way, you send a tunnel that way, and you'll send one this way. And what happens is when you spread out and you cover a larger ground and go in dramatically different directions, you're able to encounter little threads or little veins of different ores, and then you can collect them. That's how strip mining works, right? They don't just send one shaft down; they send like 5 shafts down, and they do spider webs every so often, every couple hundred feet, in order to find the gold. And you need to do the same thing when you're testing. Maybe I should have talked about becoming the mad prospector instead of becoming the mad scientist, because I'm using a lot of prospecting or chef metaphors here. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to be able to branch out and try dramatically different things if you want to get dramatically different results than what you're getting with your current life. Most people do the same thing, right? They live their entire life this way. They live their life and they just try and live the system, be a little matrix sheep, just a little bit better than the other sheep and get a little bit better results than the other sheep. Instead, you have to look at the system, look at everything that's normal and say, this normal stuff is getting people normal results. I need to try something dramatically different if I want to get dramatically different results. It requires you to step outside of the norms. It's a big part of creativity. So as you guys are going through, especially during your outreach, you need to embrace this persona of the mad scientist. You need to be willing to try and test almost crazy things. They say that they say that insanity and genius share a border. And it's a fine line between the two. If you want to be successful in life, you are going to end up flirting with that line. You're going to have to become a little insane. When you're creative, you need to turn off your sanity filters and try insane things. That's where you begin to come up with absolutely genius ideas. My best ideas that I've ever come up with as a marketer, as a copywriter, when I was doing my cold outreach, when I was creating campaigns for different clients, the things I do today, I turn off my sanity filter and I go insane. I do the insane mad scientist. I try that radical experiment just to see what happens, right? And that's where most of you guys, this is what keeps you guys mad, is fear and desperation. You live in a world of lack, of desperation. You really want to make that first money, and that's important. It's good to want to make that first money, but if you're desperate for it, if you feel like you can't quite get it and you won't be able to get it and you just need it, dude, if you come at creativity with that energy, you will fail. You won't have the courage to come up with something insanely new, right? That comes when you believe that there are infinite leads, when you believe there are infinite opportunities to try. Well, what's the worst that's going to happen? Your email list is going to get marked as spam. You have to start over and create a new one. Oh, darn. How much is that going to cost me? Oh, yeah, $0. I can do that again. It's just going to be another opportunity. You have an infinite number of times to try this. You can just circle back to those companies that you reached out to. They will have forgotten about you in 2 months, and you can try something crazy again this month, right? That's how life goes. If you can understand that there is no cost and that there's truly an infinite number of opportunities in life, there's little cost to trying something crazy, and there's an infinite opportunities that you can try something crazy and try something that has the potential to work amazingly well, then you have the mental presence, you have the mental fortitude to be able to actually, it's the right environment to come up with insanely powerful ideas that shift the world, right? That can only come when you decide to let go of fear and embrace just a little bit of insanity in your life. So as you guys are testing your outreach, as you guys are testing different types of and especially in the world post AI, right? AI is all about doing the logical, proven, boring, vanilla version. Like when you look at the copy that it generates, most of the time it's like if like 100% is genius level and 0% is like someone who doesn't know what they're doing and 50% is average, it's like a solid 75%. Like that's where it creates good stuff. But the guys that can do 100% are the people who can kind of like set aside some of the rules and just be crazy. So let's take a look. I just saw a lot of activity in the chat. You guys are just talking about where you're at, what's up. We're all good. Cool. So guys, this has been a fun call. I've been able to share some ideas that will help you achieve greatness as a copywriter and achieve greatness in life, right? Honestly, and I'm not trying to sound cliche or magnify this anymore. Like honestly, being able to approach life differently and uniquely and being able to step into a role or an archetype in your mind where you're the mad scientist who can create creative ideas, you have the opportunity to disrupt your life and others in a positive and beautiful way. This allows you to be different, but I want to warn you, just so you can have your expectations set correctly, being different has costs, right? You have to pay a price when you choose to be different. People are going to look at you differently. They are going to treat you differently. You won't have the same normal life as other people. You will have a different life with different challenges, different opportunities, but different challenges. Some people when they see different, they literally think bad, right? That's how some people think. So as you step into the mad scientist role, you're going to get some negative feedback. You're going to send out an email and people are going to reply back to you and say mean things to you for some crazy thing you tried. You have to learn how to let that just wash over you, like water rolls off the back of a duck. No big deal. Oops, some random person I've never met is upset with me. Hope you have a nice day, sir, and you just move on with your life. You have to be willing to understand that. Obviously, the further you push this, the more negative feedback you get in your life, and there's probably a level at which you should consider modulating. You need to think of the results of your actions once you come down off of the mad scientist high and you are actually analyzing your ideas logically. You need to think about the actual implications of it. And I recommend you don't break too many of the norms of society in order to avoid any kind of major problems in your life. But I want you to learn to use this approach. It has been vastly important and useful for me, and it has helped me achieve significant success as a copywriter. I've been able to write things and try things that most people are too afraid of. And people love bravery. When they see someone do something different and brave, it attracts them. It's an attractive quality, right? If you write in a way that is different and it makes it clear that you really don't care, right? You really don't care if someone likes you or not. You're just really into what you're talking about, and you really truly believe that this is something important, and people can come and take it if they want. If not, no big deal. If you can approach things in that kind of bravery, devil may care attitude, that is an extremely attractive quality, and it will bring you a lot of really cool opportunities into your life. So apply this, use this tool. We've got a new link. We're able to get in. You guys all have it inside of your email. I've also pinned it as the pinned comment here on this video, so you guys can all access this. It's been a good day, good call. It's December 31st. It's the end of the year, the last day of the year. Tomorrow is the beginning of 2023. I've been living in 2023 for at least a month now in my mind. So it'll be good to actually see the calendar or the date on the calendar. Guys, it's been a good call. I will talk with you guys again tomorrow on this live call, again, which I'll be doing forever for the rest of my life. I will always do a live call. Unless something crazy changes in the world, I will always do a live call. I'll see you guys inside of the real world. I'll be in there right after this answering questions and moving around. If you guys don't see the link, it's just a pinned comment here on this video. You guys can watch that. I think I also dropped it inside of the email that I sent out to everybody. So I will see you guys inside the program, inside the course in 5 minutes after the end of this call. I will talk with you guys in the real world. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on this call. You guys take care. Let's go out and take some money today.